background, with his education, with his experience. He's a humble, character-driven individual that, at the core, for Director McCraw, leadership is about the people.
I would describe his leadership style as that of a servant leader. He's very humble, he's not ego-driven, but he is determined, very focused. He's always on, sort of the Energizer bunny of law enforcement.
Steve's a very creative guy. He knows what he wants to do. He's a no-nonsense, kind of old-style law and order guy.
He's one of those self-made people who had a career in the FBI and then eventually came back to Texas. And he's very proud to have not only attended here, but to have graduated with degrees from West Texas State University at the time.
Football scholarship, in fact, at West Texas State University. So afforded me the opportunity to attend school, play football, and get my college education. I always recall and will never forget that the coldest football game I ever played was in Buffalo Stadium. And I don't have to tell anybody else from WT how cold it can get in Canyon, Texas. You ever want to play a passing team, okay, at Buffalo Bowl and Canyon during a winter storm? That's the last thing you want to do. The game never ends, number one, okay? Goes on, and it never gets warmer as the game goes on. I wasn't drafted, by the way, okay, for the record, okay? You didn't see me in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. The football coach at the time was Gene Mayfield, and outstanding man. That's something I always remember that Coach Mayfield did, that I tried to do the same thing as the director in some of the management positions I've been throughout my career in law enforcement, whether it's with DPS or the Federal Bureau of Investigation, is that he met with every player and spent time wanting to know about the player and what their goals were. That he cared enough sincerely about each player. That's something I'll always remember about Coach Gene Mayfield, and that's really what leadership's about. And the thing that I enjoyed, I reflect back on West Texas, at the time West Texas State, now West Texas A&M, is that they didn't tell you what to learn. They taught you how to learn. I think was the most important thing. Well, it started with recruit school, the Texas Department of Public Safety on this campus. I was used to a lot of physical conditioning and coming right out of football season, relatively. And I didn't expect that this would be any challenge. On the contrary, after the first week in DPS recruit school, I said to myself, hey, these guys are crazy. I've been working for the Department of Public Safety for approximately 5.5 years, 6 years at that time. And even my sergeant recommended that I consider becoming a federal agent. It was, obviously that was something that would be a challenge at that time, and I thought, that's something that I would like to do, the opportunity to work organized crime, beyond Texas. And of course, we had those were the 80s, okay, and we talk about the early 80s, we're talking about Florida, about Colombia, about the Cali cartel, the Medellin cartel, okay, cocaine coming through the Caribbean corridor. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go work for the FBI. After 9/11, I was asked to go back and become an assistant director and establish the Office of Intelligence and post 9/11 environment. And at 2004, I became eligible, because at 50 years old, you're eligible to retire, with 21 years in the FBI. And then I got a phone call from someone in the governor's office, at the time was Governor Rick Perry, asking if I'd be interested in being the Homeland Security Director for Texas. I thought it would be a good opportunity for me. And so I agreed and went to work for Governor Rick Perry, and back in 2004 as the Homeland Security Director for the state of Texas, and continued to do that. And in 2009, there was a vacancy that was advertised as the Director of the Texas Department of Public Safety. I competed for that position, and fortunately for me, the commission selected me.
15 years ago, 20 years ago, DPS didn't face the same challenges it faces today. He oversees a lot of people within the Department of Public Safety, and he is highly regarded by the people in that department. They look up to him as a leader, they respect him.
When I was a senator is when I first got to know the director. And we had this trust built in early on. A trooper today has to be able to do so many things. First of all, be there to help the public, be on the lookout for sex trafficking, be on the lookout for drug seizures, be on the lookout for gang members crossing the state. Our troopers are asked to do so much compared to 30 or 40 years ago, they have to be highly trained and they have to have strong leadership, and he's that guy. It's a very dangerous job. He's always thinking, how can I protect my people and protect the people of Texas?
He is very thorough, very meticulous, and very capable, and he is constantly working for the people of the state of Texas.
Leadership is a lifelong journey of self-development. And for him, he recalibrated every day so that he would overcome his personal interest for the interest of others. Self-giving, coaching, teaching, directing, and when I say mentoring, he mentored others to be better versions of themselves. Director McCraw has impeccable integrity, honesty. He embodies justice for all. But when you look at character of the heart, courage of the heart, his title may give him the authority, but it's his courage on a daily basis. It's his courage and how he represents us all that will help him make the tough decisions.
I think he exemplifies the type of leadership that Texas wants, that West Texas has trained him to be.
I think that Director McCraw has always been a credit to West Texas A&M University. And I think it shows to the students here that if you get engaged in that field, you can rise to the top and you can make a real difference in your community and in the state and even in the nation.
He is very much engaged in very challenging circumstances, and we are quite fortunate at the Texas Department of Public Safety to have such a great leader. You all should be extremely proud of the alumni that you're putting out at West Texas A&M.
And I say this, that sometimes in law enforcement, especially in leadership, we kind of define one's life. We define success by awards, accomplishments, acquisitions, achievements. But for Director McCraw, his legacy will be the indelible difference that he's made on other people's lives.
I would have never been successful at the department or, within the FBI and the law enforcement career if not for West Texas A&M. The foundation it gave me, I'll be forever grateful for the education I received and the friendships that I developed during that program, lessons that I learned in life, and for being accepted in this distinguished award I don't deserve but certainly appreciate.